Man of Maranatha, Detroit, Michigan, where everything depends upon a proper understanding of Genesis 3:15, where the Most High God said to the serpent, I will put enmity between you and the woman. Her seed's heel will bruise your seed's skull. This is the prophecy not of God coming into the flesh. This is the prophecy of God and how he intended Bereshit to be in the beginning. In the beginning is Bereshit, the first son. Everyone knew all of God's creation, all of the beasts of the field, all of the animals, everyone knew their purpose. Everyone was staying in their lane. Everyone knew their purpose and why they were created. It wasn't until Eve and when she was tricked that things got off course. Now, why did she get tricked? What was the trickery about? What was the cunningness about? The cunningness, the trickery was dealing with a woman who wanted to have the first son. And she was not chosen to be the one to have the first son. She was not chosen to be written in the book. Who is this woman? Martha, otherwise known as the serpent. The serpent was a woman. She was a beast of the field. The beasts of the field were people. People that did not have the Spirit of God breathed upon them. Genesis 1, God, both masculine and feminine, they create people. In Genesis 2, they create Adam. As on earth, as in heaven. Okay, God is in heaven. Your idea of God being in heaven. Okay. God is in heaven and he's on his throne. Who's under him? Who's around him? Is he just up there alone? Who's around him? Is it the host of angels? With God being God, or God being King of heaven, he has subjects. He has people or individuals that are under him. He has a hierarchy. He has cherubim and seraphim. He has different, levels of angels. He has different hierarchies beneath him. Now, when he creates Adam, Adam is made in his image. And Adam is supposed to have people under him, subjects under him, individuals under him that he has authority over. Now, like God, Adam does not subject his authority over his subjects abusively, as the Europeans did the Israelites in slavery. No. Adam has authority over everything that God has given him, and he shows love. He shows responsibility. He learns of all of the things that God has created, and even God gives Adam the authority to name everything, because as God is creating everything, now he is sharing this authority with Adam, because Adam is the son of God. Adam is made in God's image. But the backdrop is Adam is not Bereshit. Adam is the seed. Adam is the beginning. See, a lot of people are looking at Adam as the source, or Adam as the end-all, be-all, but in reality, the end-all, be-all is the Messiah. And the end-all, be-all being the Messiah was said right in Genesis 1. Bereshit, the first son. But Adam was not the first son. Yeshua was the first son. And all of the creation in Genesis 1 knew of Bereshit, the first son. And even Adam knew of the first son. But what was told to Adam, as far as this revelation, this apocalypse, this revealing, is that in order for this son to come, speaking as God, this ideal son that I wish to have, you're going to have to die. In order for me to have this son that I wish to have, Adam, you are going to have to so-called sin. Because this is how I want this story to play out. This is how God, want this story to be told. Yes, everything that I've created was great, and everything that I've created was good. And even you, Adam, you're great and you're good. But you know what you're going to have to do, Adam? You're going to have to do something that you might not understand. But because you do it, I will be able to show the world and my creation my grace and my mercy and my glory. Now, Adam, he understands Bereshit, and he's going around looking for a wife. When he goes amongst the beasts of the field, he's looking for a wife. He is not going to the zoo, the public zoo, and looking at the giraffes saying, maybe me and you should get together. Or he's not going to the orangutans and saying, man, me and you should get together. Or the zebras, or the goats, or the lambs. He's not saying that. He's going to the different women and he's having conversations. The world is so perverted now that, we think everything's so nasty. But when you think of things in this pure sense, that especially as the writer intended it, you can have a better understanding. Adam is going amongst the women. These women that did not have the Ruach. They were the beasts of the field. And he found a certain woman, as most who have studied, you may call her Lilith, Sophia. There are different names through the ages that have been given to this feminine woman. But the serpent was a woman who wanted to fulfill and wanted her name to be written in the book. Everybody wants their name in the book. Written in the book. So she wanted to have Bereshit. So what she does is, when she is rejected by Adam, because Adam now goes to God and say, hey, I wish to have a wife. And all of these women that are before me, they're not right. They don't have that essence. They don't have that spark. God understands. He sees that Adam is of the right mind, and he gives Adam what he wants. It's just like Solomon. I give you anything that you want. But what is the one thing that you want? Wisdom. Aha. You are a good son. I like you. You don't need the material possessions, but you wish to have wisdom, the feminine, to really know my mind. Yes, it has been personified to be God's wife, but it's really the mind of God. So now Solomon is wanting to have the mind of God, the wisdom of God, God's only mate, his wisdom. He's not into foolery, folly. He's not undecided, indecisive. God knows what he wants. God is, he knows what he wants. He's God. So now that he sees that his subject, his creation, is seeking his mind, he's pleased with that. And that was the same thing that he's seen with Adam. Adam sought God's mind? Who seeks the will and the mind of God? No one. But Adam said, yes, Lord. I see that these beasts of the field, or these women, yes, although they are attractive, and even though some of them have great conversation, I need someone that has the same DNA as I, because you made each flesh unique. And because you have given me this wisdom, I respect that. And I need to come to you, because if I can't do it, then you can. Because you are my shepherd, and I shall not want. So Adam goes to God. God gives Adam his helpmate. Whoa, man. Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Now me and you can hook up, and we can produce Bereshit. God has given you to me to fulfill Bereshit. But the woman who was first courted by Adam, she's jealous. And she thinks of a clever scheme to receive that seed, that sperm, that semen, that zera. And she gets Eve drunk. Now, whether you look at it as an apple, fig, bread, cannabis, cocaine, whatever you think it is, that's on you. If I told you what it was, you would still not believe. Only you would have to test the spirit to find out for yourself. Study to show yourself approved. But what was given to Eve got her off her square. She got a little bit drunk. She was beguiled. And once her mind was open to see that what she had partook of was good, especially for the consciousness, because what was given to Eve was the possibility of being like God, having the mind of God. Because once you have the mind of God, guess what you can do? You can create. You can do things. Anything that you will put your mind to, you will be able to do. That is what a God is and what a God can do. However, in order to be the true and living God, you have to be of the right mind and have to be of the right spirit and have to have perfect wisdom. You cannot miss the mark. But when instructions have been given to you and you have disobeyed those instructions, now you are under a position of sin, of disobedience, because God, who is the creator of all, has given you the creation and understanding that you went against. And now Eve has went against the teachings, the instructions, the dictums of the Most High God. She now, being personified as wisdom, goes to her man. And I don't want to say deceives him, but convinces him that, hey, the true God said that, we eat this, we're going to die. Look, I'm still living. I'm here. And guess what? I understand this and I understand that. And Adam is listening and he's saying, well, what goes on here? God did say if I eat of this tree, in that day I will surely die. Yes, should I have known that 1,000 years is as a day unto the Lord? Should I know that I'm only going to live 900 and some odd years? Or do I look at a day as 24 hours? I mean, what's going on here? So instead of listening to God, Adam listens to his wife, his wisdom, something that God has given to him, something that he himself is responsible for. And he listens to his wife, and she tells him to go and have sex with Martha. Now, don't get it construed or messed up because I'm using the word Martha. I mean, there are many Johns in the Bible. There are many Joshuas. There are a couple of Jesuses. Stop getting it all hung up on the particularity of an individual. Because in order to understand the true Messiah, God has given you a sign so that you can understand who the Messiah is, and not just by name. Everybody wants to know the name. What is his name? What is your name? But the name is identified in what you do, and not so much who you are as by the name that has been given to you. Your name gives you the vocation of your life. If you are Joshua, and you are here to save, then you will do it. And once you see that person live up to their name, to the vocation of their name, the meaning of their name, then you being an Israelite, one who seeks God, would understand that that person is who he is by the name that was given to him. Emmanuel, God is with us. What does that mean? A lot of people are just thinking that it's like Emmanuel Lewis. It's just a name. No, it's not a name. It means something. It's a promise that has been given to us. So now the promise that has been given to the serpent, Martha, because she has tricked Eve, because she wanted to have, she wanted to fulfill Bereshit. She wanted to have the Messiah to come from her womb, and God said no. It wasn't supposed to be this way. And since you have tricked Eve, this is what I'm going to do. This is the prophecy that I will give. And the prophecy that I will give is that the seed of the woman, her heel, will bruise the seed of the serpent's skull. The seed was a person. The skull was a sign for you to know who Israel, who your Savior was. Genesis 3:15 is Christ crucified. When David cut off Goliath's head, he took it to Jerusalem and he buried it. 1,000 years later, Yeshua was born. 33 years later, Yeshua was crucified on a hill called the place of a skull. It was a literal historical skull under the Messiah's foot. Israel always sought a sign. They needed a sign, and that was the sign. All four gospel writers understood this, and they wrote it in the text because they all understood Genesis 3:15. Do you understand Genesis 3:15? Because if you're following the false narrative of Trinity, if you're following the false narrative of Easter and Christmas and things of that nature, then you have a stain on your garment. This is a false narrative. This is a false doctrine. Is rightly dividing the word of God. And many people are looking at the end of the book and not understanding the beginning of the book, because if they understood the beginning of the book, then they could understand the end. This is the revelation. I am the man of Maranatha, Detroit, Michigan.